Monstering Infinity here. Today I'm back with another episode of our Pokemon Series 8 VGC ranked battles. And before we get started today, I just want to quickly run through the team that we've been using. So far we've played 20 battles with it and we've gone 14 wins and 6 losses. So I'm very happy with this team that I built. If you're interested in using this team, the rental code is on the screen, so please feel free to use it yourself. And if you use it, let me know in the comments section below how the team works out for you. So to go over the team, we've got Kyogre with Drizzle, who's setting up our rain mode, and along with that we have Kingdra, Life Orb, and Zapdos with a weakness policy. And to support those three, we have Hitmontop with a Focus Sash, Light Clay Grimmsnarl with Screens and Fake Tears, and then we have Tornadus with a Wakan Berry, and that is primarily to help us control the weather without having to switch in the Kyogre to potentially take damage and weaken our water spout. So this is the team, and without further ado, let's jump into today's battles. Alright, on to our first battle for today. Alright, so this is interesting. Our opponent has the Calyrex Shadow Rider, which I don't think we've played yet so far, which is cool. They have a Lapras, an Urshifu, Kartana, Incineroar, and Grimmsnarl. So here I don't think my opponent is going to bring Incineroar, so we can cross that one off the list. So this is a tricky one. I think I want to lead Zapdos and Grimmsnarl, and in the back we'll have Kyogre and the Kingdra. Alright, so our opponent leaves Grimmsnarl, Lapras. This is interesting, so I'm assuming that this Grimmsnarl doesn't have screens. I want to get as much damage off as I can on this Lapras before it sets up, so I want to go for a Max Lightning into the Lapras and a Fake Out into the Grimmsnarl. Okay, so our opponent Dynamaxes Lapras. Okay, so the good thing about this is even if they get up screens, we have Fake Tears to help push through and deal the extra damage. So we get our Fake Out off first, presumably, interrupt the Grimmsnarl, get off a nice Max Lightning, do about 60% damage, so that's really good. And now if they go for the G-Max Resonance into the Zapdos, that would activate our weakness policy, which would be really good. Oh, but unfortunately we actually activate their weakness policy. So hopefully we can actually live this G-Max Resonance here. And we do not. Okay, so that's a really rough start then. Wasn't expecting a weakness policy set, but we pretty much had to go for the Fake Out. Because if we didn't, then we would have just potentially gotten Fake Out ourselves, so we'll have to figure out how to come back on this one. Okay, so I'm going to bring out Kyogre. There's Electric Terrain up, which will help boost the power of our Thunder, and now I'm hoping that the combination of that and a Fake Tears, we can deal a lot of damage now to this Lapras and hopefully pick up a KO. Just a little worried about what their Grimmsnarl is going to do here. Okay, so we get off the Fake Tears. Yeah, and they use Trick. Presumably a Full Incense, which would be really bad. Yeah. But we do get off the Thunder, and it does pick up the KO. Okay, so at least we pick up the knockout on our Lapras, and now we can kind of crawl back into this one since we are both out of our Dynamax Pokemon. But the Full Incense is a little annoying here. Okay, so I really want to preserve the Kyogre, so I think I'm going to switch out the Kyogre and set up a Reflect. So they go for a Leaf Blade to pick up a lot of damage, and actually go for a Spirit Link into the Grimmsnarl. Okay, so thankfully they didn't double up onto the Kingdra slot. That would have been really bad. Now at least we do have speed control, we have screens up. So it's 2 turns of electric terrain, 3 turns of rain, 2 turns of their veil left. So here I think I want to protect. Actually, let's go for Hurricane and Fake Tears. Okay, so Fake Tears comes out. Since this is not Dynamax and has a really weak special defense, maybe we can pick up the KO, but presuming it's all vested. Okay, nice, so we do pick up the KO, that's huge for us. Now we'll see what this Grimmsnarl is going to do, probably Spirit Break into the Kingdra. Yes. Okay, and they do pick up the knockout. It's pretty unfortunate, even though we could have left up. Okay, so now we're both down to our last Pokemon. And they still have their Calyrex, which is not ideal. Okay, so there's 2 turns of rain left. And I think here we can't really afford to go for Water Spout because of the full Incense. If we didn't have that on us, I think we probably would have just probably won off the Water Spout, but we can't really afford to go for that right now. So I'm going to go for a Scald, and we need to get up a light screen here. And actually protect with the Calyrex. It's fine, we got up a light screen. They're probably just going to keep Spirit Breaking the Kyogre, which is not good. But thankfully at least we have Fake Tears to help push through those drops. And their Aurora Veil did wear off, which is great. So now I'm going to go for a Scald and Fake Tears into the Calyrex. We are kind of in trouble here because our Grimmsnarl doesn't have any way to deal any damage, and I can't use a Fake Tears on their Grimmsnarl, so we're kind of in a tough position now if they keep lowering our special attack. So Fake Tears comes out. They get off their Astral Barrage, it's going to do a ton of damage. Yep. They get off the Spirit Break. We do hang on, but I don't think unfortunately it's enough. This full Incense is really, really devastating on this Kyogre. Yeah, unfortunately we don't pick up the KO, and the burn doesn't really matter at this point, so without any way to actually deal damage with the Grimmsnarl, we're pretty much just sitting ducks at this point. And I think they're aware as well that we don't have any attack, so this one's pretty much over at this point. We'll play it out, but this one's over. So unfortunately, Kyogre goes down, and this Grimmsnarl just really put in so much work against our team, so full Incense is just so devastating. I think it's my first time actually playing against it, so I wish, honestly, we could have had that on our Grimmsnarl, but it just didn't have room with the moves that I wanted to have on it, so fortunately we lose game 1, but we'll see if we can bounce back going into game number 2 here. Alright, so on to game number 2. Okay, so this is a pretty rough matchup for our team here. I think I want to lead with Tornadus and Kyogre, and in the back have Zapdos and so Dialga is a really rough matchup for our Kyogre. Because now this Series 8's been around for about a week now with so many Kyogres running around. It just seems like there's going to be a lot of counter teams to that, so this is only going to get harder and harder as we try to make it to Master Ball. with this team before switching up and trying to use different restricted Pokemon, but depending on how things go, we might have to switch up the team before then. So I'm going to go for a Taunt onto the Porygon and switch out into the Zapdos here. So we get the Taunt off, which is good to prevent any Trick Room shenanigans. They go with the Thunderbolt. So we have a Wakanberry specifically for Regieleki leads. I would have preferred the Volt Switch, but that's fine. At least we don't take any knockouts this turn, and we prevent the Trick Room from going up. So now in this position, I want to go for a Tailwind, so that to guarantee that we outspeed the Regieleki, and then go for a Hurricane on the Porygon slot. So they go for Electro Wave, see if we can hang on here. So Tornadus goes down. They go for an Ice Beam into Zapdos, which will activate our weakness policy if we survive. We do not. Of course, they get a crit. I really think we would have survived that. That's crazy. So disastrous start to this game as well. Okay, so I'm going to go for a Max Geyser into the Porygon slot and go for a Water Spout with the Kyogre. We're just so far behind now, I just need to throw a Hail Mary here. I don't even think there's any chance of coming back at this point. And they can honestly just Dynamax their Regieleki here and probably just win, but we'll just play it out. Alright, so we got the Geyser off, the Porygon, take it out, nice. Now we got a single target Water Spout. Should pick up the knockout here as long as it's not sashed. Of course it's sashed. Since this game just couldn't get any worse. Well, at least they target the Kingdra slot. That's the only saving grace there. Doesn't weaken our Water Spout, so we're just going to keep having to fire away here with our Kyogre. So now they bring out their Dialga, which I'm sure is Assault vested. And my only really option here is going for a Wormwind against it to do any kind of damage. And we're locked into Water Spout, so don't think that we're going to be able to pick up a KO on this Dialga. And it actually just protects. So we barely do any damage there. At least we'll take out this Regieleki. And Water Spout comes out and should pick up the knockout here. Yep, so Regieleki goes down. Now they're down to their last two Pokemon, but they still have their Dynamax, and I don't think we'll have enough firepower here to pull this one out. And of course it is a Rillaboom, which is worst case scenario. So I'm going to go for another Max Wormwind, and we're locked into Water Spout. Alright, so they Dynamax Dialga, which was not surprising, and the Grassy Glide with the Kyogre. It just takes us out in one shot. Max Wormwind comes out, just curious how much damage this does for future reference. It's terrible, not even 25%, it's insane. And then they just hit back with their own Max Wormwind, which will take us out in turn, so... It's really unfortunate that crit with the Porygon. It's really annoying, but this one was always an uphill battle with this Dialga that is basically just meant to counter Kyogre teams. So, not really much we could do here. Not really sure how I could have played that one too much different, but unfortunately that's the result. Alright, so on to the next match of today, game number 3. Hopefully we can turn it around and finish on a high note and pick up a few wins today. I hate starting the day off with 2 losses, but we're just going to keep running into counter teams to Kyogre, unfortunately, so it's going to be very difficult. Alright, so our next opponent today, interesting, they have a Ditto, Incineroar, Landorus, Celesteela, Fairy, and I'm honestly not too sure what that legendary Pokemon is. See, it's Necrozma, but I'm not even sure if that's even what it is. So the fact that they don't have any kind of weather control here makes me want to go with our rain lead. So I'm going to lead Kyogre. Only Kyogre Zapdos. And have Kingdra and him on top, in the back. Okay, so our opponent bring their Incineroar, which is shocking against my team. So I'm pretty happy to see that. And then they have Necrozma, which I've never played against before, and I have no idea what it can do. But glad to see that it doesn't resist the Water Spout, so that is what we're doing turn 1. And then I'm going to... Actually, I don't want to get Fake Outed here, so I want to switch out into Kingdra, and then I'm going to use Thunder on the Necrozma. Okay, so Incineroar fakes out the Kingdra, which is what I expected. We get off the Thunder, so let's get some damage off here. Nice, do about 50% damage, and use Automize. Okay, so they raise their speed. Question is, does that outspeed Kingdra in the rain? So I want to hope that it doesn't, and I want to go for max Airstream into the Incineroar just to ensure that we keep pace here, and then go for another Thunder into this Necrozma and hopefully pick up the KO. Okay, so they Dynamax this Necrozma, which I was hoping they wouldn't considering how much damage it took, but at least we are still faster, so this Airstream brings this down to, looks like a Focus Sash. Unless it's just an invisible Focus Sash, I guess, since it lives on 1 HP, of course. So we get off this Thunder. Unfortunately, does not pick up the KO because it maxed. And now they go for a Mind Storm into the Zapdos. Do we live this? We do. That's fantastic. Now they have Psychic Terrain up. They go for a Parting Shot into the Kingdra. Which is a bit annoying because now they can recycle their Fake Out. I can't believe it left on 1 HP. Just not catching any breaks today. Okay, so they bring out the Fairy. assuming they're probably just going to go for follow me. We'll see if maybe the double up hopefully takes it out. So I'm going to go for the Max Geyser. I'm going to double up into the Necrozma and hopefully pick up a knockout on either one of them. And Clefairy uses follow me. We got the Geyser here. Do not pick up the knockout. Might have if there wasn't that parting shot. Now Thunder comes out, presumably let's knock this out. Great, so now that's out of the way at least. And that problem goes for another Mind Storm. Surprisingly into the Zapdos, that's fine. So I'm going to bring out Hitmontop here in case they bring out their Incineroar. So we should have a faster Fake Out, and that will take the last bit of damage. Alright, so our Hitmontop comes out. They send out Ditto. So this is cool. I've never seen a Ditto in VGC before, so presuming it's going to imposter one of my Pokemon. Question is which. Okay, it's Kingdra. So I think I want to go for a Max. Oh, we can't even Fake Out. I want to go for a Max Airstream into the Ditto and go for a Close Combat into the Necrozma. Good thing I didn't Fake Out, I was about to do that. Okay, so they protect, which is... Wait, oh, I guess it said I timed out. That's really annoying, because I thought I Close Combated. Alright, we take that. It's not what we wanted. Not sure what happened there. I thought I got in that Close Combat before the timer ran out, so that's really annoying. Okay, so now I'm going to... I want to protect... How many turns of Rain are left? This is the last turn of Rain, which we need to outspeed here, so I'm going to go for the Draco Meteor into the Ditto and go for a Mach... Oh, I can't. Go for a Close Combat into the Necrozma. Oh my gosh, it's Quick Claw. Wow. Okay, so thankfully it goes into the Kingdra. We get off the Draco Meteor. Hopefully take this thing out. This is really annoying. Perfect. And nice, we do outspeed and get the Close Combat off. Excellent, and then the Necrozma goes down, so thankfully it's 3-on-1 now. But unfortunately the rain does end, but we should still outspeed whatever comes in here with the, I believe, 2 Airstreams that we did get off. I have to remember that we cannot use priority because Psychic Terrain is up. So my only option with this is Close Combat. Here, I think I'm fine with protecting the Kingdra and switching out into Kyogre just to preserve that Fake Out when that Psychic Terrain ends, but we don't, just to be 100% safe here. I know we pretty much got this one, so I just don't want to make any mistakes here. So now we get our Rain back up. And we go for the Protect. Oh, that's right, they couldn't even Fake Out anyway with the Psychic Terrain, but it doesn't matter anyway. We got this. So I'm going to go for a Hydro Pump and just a Scald here. Yeah, and our opponent just forfeits. So that was a really interesting match. It was cool facing the Necrozma for the first time. I'm glad we were able to pick up the win after our first two matches of today. So 1 win, 2 losses. So hopefully we can win the next 2 and finish out the day on a winning record. So on to match number 4 for today. Alright, so unfortunately it is another Dialga team with the Regieleki, which is pretty much the worst thing that we could go up against, unfortunately. I think I want to lead Kyogre, Hitmontop. Let's say actually Kyogre, Grimmsnarl, and then have Zapdos and Kingdra in the back. Alright, so my opponent leads Regieleki and Incineroar. The question is, is our Fake Out faster than the Incineroar Fake Out? I think in this position I want to switch out the Kyogre into Kingdra. And fake out the Regieleki. This way we pivot into the rain and we should outspeed the Regieleki. We do get the fake out off, that's great. And then they get off a parting shot into the Kingdra, which is not ideal, but at least we do still preserve the Kyogre in the back. And now they bring out Tapu Fini. So here I think I want to protect and set up a screen, except I don't want this to be able to set up on us. But I think that's our play for right now. So I'm hoping this doesn't calm mind here, but if it does, it's not the end of the world. Regieleki uses Thunderbolt into the Grimmsnarl. And the Fini does calm mind. Okay. So now I want to I really need to get rid of this Regieleki. So I think I want to Hydro Pump Regieleki and go for a Fake Tears into the Tapu Fini just to weaken it, and it does protect. Okay. We really need to hit this Hydro Pump here. Oh wow, they actually outspeed. Okay. And we don't hang on. It's unfortunate, but at least we do get a free switch in now. And the Hydro Pump does connect, which is big. And we pick up the knockout. Great. Okay. So now I'm going to bring out the Zapdos. They bring out their Dialga. I think I want to double up on this Fini and probably Dynamax now. Assume they're going to Dynamax the Dialga now, which is going to be really rough because we don't really have a way to hit it that hard. But we just got to hope we can live out its Dynamax and hopefully clean up with Kyogre in the back. Because Regieleki's down, they have Incineroar in the back, which I'm not worried about. These two are the biggest threats on the field, so see what we can do here. If we could stall at this Dynamax, then we have a much better chance when it's non-Dynamax to pick up the KO. Okay, so Hurricane comes out. Does so little damage there. We are at -1. Don't get the confusion, and the Max Lightning comes out. Oh, it doesn't get the knockout. That's really unfortunate. Now we activate their berry. It's really annoying. And they go for the max quake to boost their special defense even more, which is not good. Thankfully we do hang on. And they go for the Squall into the Zapdos. Okay. 3 turns of rain are left. This is the final turn of rain. So I think I want to go for Hurricane to Fini and Max Lightning into the Dialga. I'm reading into a Protect on the Fini here, and it does not. Hopefully we get the Confusion. No, we don't. We gotta get some chip off onto this thing. Our attacks are barely even doing any damage. And they're just gonna keep boosting their special defense, so this is really not good for us. And they pick up the knockout. And they get a Moon Blast off into the Zapdos. Now we get the rain back up. Don't know how much that's going to matter at this point. Pretty much a sitting duck now. So I'm going to go for... I mean, our only real option here to do any damage is with Ice Beam, so we kind of have to Ice Beam this Dialga and go for the Max Lightning into this type of Fini. And so Ice Beam does absolutely nothing. At least the Lightning picks up the KO, but yeah, unfortunately I don't think we have a way of winning this one. Right, we do hang on, which is good, but I don't think unfortunately it's going to matter. Fortunately, their Incineroar can now use Fake Out, so I have to go for the Ice Beam. And I'm gonna have to try to protect the Zapdos. Yeah, our attacks are just doing absolutely nothing. It's crazy. And they just target Kyogre anyway. Yeah, Dialga is just an absolute nightmare for my team. There's really like nothing I can do to stop it. So I think we're just going to quit this one since there's really no way for us back into it. Alright, so that was pretty much the worst case scenario. Pick up another loss there, so now we're 1 win and 3 losses for the day. Gonna just play one more battle and hopefully we end off on a win, but not sure how much longer I'm going to continue to feature this team just because it's going to get really annoying just with everybody running around with anti-Kyogre teams. So this being the 5th episode with the team, maybe I'll switch it up going to the next one, but we'll have to see. Alright, on to the 5th match of today. Alright, so we're up against another rain team here. Fortunately, they do have a faster Fake Out than us in the Raichu. Ludicolo is a problem, so I think I want to lead with... I think Zapdos pretty much has to be our Maxmon for this game. I'm going to lead the Zapdos and Grimmsnarl, and in the back have Kyogre, and we'll have him on top. Alright, so our opponent leads Ludicolo, Kyogre, which is pretty much what I was expecting here. So the question is, do they switch in a Raichu for the Kyogre, predicting me to go for a Max Lightning? So I want to go for instead a Max Airstream into the Ludicolo and go for a fake out into the Kyogre slot. Yep, so they withdraw the Kyogre. I'm sure they're bringing the Raichu. Okay, that's fine. So at least we break a potential Sash. And this Ludicolo really does not want to deal with my Zapdos, so hopefully we can do some nice damage here. Guess they just fake out us before we can fake out them. So let's see if we can pick up a knockout here. And we do, nice. Okay, so at least we get the knockout. Hopefully this Raichu isn't an Eerie Impulse. That would be really annoying. Okay, so they bring the Kyogre back out. So I kind of want to Airstream the Kyogre. And go for a fake Tears. Alright, so they're Dynamaxing their Kyogre. A little scary, but I'm really curious what this Raichu says. I want to deal with. They just fake out again. Let me get the Airstream off. And then go for the Geyser and see what they target. Thankfully we do still survive that. They take Life Orb damage, that's good to know. So now I want to left here. Still 3 turns of range. So I think I want to go for another Airstream into the Kyogre, and now we should be able to get off this fake Tears finally. Oh wow, they just forfeit. That's really interesting. But yeah, I'm not sure why they forfeited that. The game was still up in the air as to who could have won that. I think the fake Tears plus Airstream would have done a ton of damage. Would have picked up the knockout, I'm not sure, but I think it would have come close. And then the Life Orb damage after the Kyogre probably attacking the Zapdos would have probably picked up the knockout. So then we both would have been down our Dynamaxes, and they would have been down to their Raichu and their last Pokemon. So we still had our Kyogre in the back. So I think we really could have won that one. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the win. We'll take it after a rough day. It's nice to get some good fortune, so we'll take it. Yeah, I mean, it was a tough one today, going only 2 wins and 3 losses as we try to continue our way on to make it up to the Master Ball tier. I'm going to think about whether or not I want to switch up the team, just because there's so many anti-rain and anti-Kyogre teams running around right now. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but if you stuck around till the end, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and drop a comment below letting me know what you thought of today's battles, and subscribe if you're new and you want more content like this on the channel. I am a new channel and I'm trying to get off the ground, so any love is appreciated at this point. And if you're like me and you want to learn about VGC together, happy to have you here and hope you continue to watch our episodes. So I'll catch you all in the next one.